Alright, here's chapter 14, prisons. This one, I think, it's one of the tougher chapters to do. It takes a fair bit of practice, mostly because of laser hallway, but we'll talk about that when we get there. First thing you're going to do is when you come over here, we're going to clip through here. So the first point goes up here. You want to kind of imagine halfway between like this bar and this line here. Put it in the corner seam right there. Crouch down, and here there's like a dark spot on the ground right around here. You can kind of see it right here, right there, and then over here on the wall, just kind of in the middle, both vertically and horizontally. Try and center it. Save quick load, and then you're going to put 2 points like this behind you, as close to the bars as you can, and then just bring the third point up along the triangle you just made, and it'll just kind of punt you through. Then you just right click once and it'll disappear those points. So then hit switch, grab a thing. These bars, very, very tiny time save here. You run and you jump and then crouch, and you can kind of hop over them before they're all the way in the ground. It's not, it's like 1/10 of a second or whatever, but it's worth doing. Okay, and then you just climb out here, hopefully without falling. Quick save a bunch. That's just a good rule of thumb for this game. Alright, and then come up here. First, you want to grab the yellow cube and throw it down that way. It's actually kind of preferable that it stays up here nearest the hole, because you're aiming for the hole. If it falls down there, then it can be then you won't necessarily know where it ended up, but it's not a big deal. So then you come down here to this corner next to the window right there. I'm going to do like 1.5 up, 1.5 over, and 1.5 over there, right? And then sometimes it'll just punt you through immediately. If not, you do a second triangle. Okay, so that was good. You can see that's like basically the second best you can get. The best would be getting the one triangle and it kicks you through. The second best is what happened there, where I drew the second one and it kicked me through. Let's see if I can get the third best now, where you draw a second triangle and it just kind of nudges you through. Oh, it didn't work. Anyway, I have to draw a triangle with like 2 points down here and 1 up where the other thing is. Yeah, because there's a gap here, and it can be a little awkward to try and jump it, so you may need to draw a triangle. So this puzzle is basically just intended. Right, don't forget the statue. Make a small gap between the button and there, and then put the point. Usually aim for like right there on these 3 points, just to make the walls of this pretty level and even. Right. And then this, you just have to hope for the best. The jars just kind of break sometimes, and the eyeball monster just moves wherever it wants. Hopefully it'll stay put and not run away like this. He only needs to stay in place long enough to get up here. Right, and then climb out here. And now we're going to drop back down here in the tree. Grab the cube. So the main reason I don't like it falling down in the hole when you throw it down is because sometimes it'll like land over here. It can land on these branches, and if you just run in, it's really difficult to see it. It's like if you come in here and just run in, you're not necessarily going to see if it was there or not. So now I'm going to drop onto this route here, and then down onto this platform. And I always make a quick save here. I'll line myself up with this. So what I do, I'm going to try and imagine my mouse cursor at this top point of the triangle, or the square, right? And it should go in. And I also like to just kind of watch and just make sure that it went in. And come back over and climb back up. And you can just jump across and climb up like that, so you don't have to draw any triangles. So now, this is when you do laser hallway. which there is a whole strat for it that Amaranth found, and it's a fantastic strat, and luckily he made a video for it. I'm just going to link it here. I'm not going to do all of Laser Hallway in this. I'll put it as the next video in the playlist. I'll also link it in the description. But you know, go up, do Laser Hallway, come back down, do the last reflection down there, climb back up. I will say my advice is to quick save a whole bunch. Quick save after pretty much every triangle you draw, because you never know when you might die. After that, you come back here and run through the yellow portal, and now there's a choice you can make. There's a clip, or you could do the intended strats. Intended strats, obviously, you draw triangles up here and hit the switch. And then I have a lineup that I really like for this. It makes it pretty easy. So there's this point here, which I don't have a really great way to signify which one it is, so hopefully you can just figure that out. And then this point here, the second point of your triangle, and then pull it over to this spot here. So this is a pretty simple reflection once you know these points. It's pretty good. One of the downsides of it is that the debris that the blocks make when they explode, it can block the laser beam, and so sometimes you either have to, you know, maneuver this around a little bit to get it around the debris, or you just have to wait for it to fade away. And then make sure you delete the triangle before you jump back down, which I just hold jump long enough and you'll go in. Obviously then you go on as usual. The other strat is the clip strat, which you would just, you know, this is the corner where you spawn in, so just turn around and go right here. Do the 1.5 up and then 1.5 over in each direction. Save quick load. And then you want it to very carefully nudge you out like this. I'm gonna make a quick save here. It can also be good depending on where this triangle is exactly. You might want to delete those because otherwise it can bump you off to the right. What I'm gonna do is walk off here and try and land on the texture itself. It's very narrow, so it's a little tricky, but you can eventually get a pretty good feel for it. Which I am not doing right now. I can do it, I promise. It's usually not this much trouble for me. Okay, let's see if I can figure something out here. This I'm not seeing here. Saving and loading all day. Yeah. If you look at it at the top of this layer, kind of, it's the bottom of this layer, you can make triangles like that. And that keeps you there. And when you're on this, whether you're on your own triangles or on one of the textures, you make a point there, and then make a ramp. Just make another one. This top one, if you make it too steep, that's fine, because you just want to jump on it, and it'll like slide you down to this one. And yeah, then you just go into the portal, and it skips that whole puzzle. A fast reflection and a fast clip. The clip is going to be a little bit faster, not like a huge time difference. And I find this clip to be pretty tough to get, both the clip itself and jumping down here. It just feels kind of risky compared to the much safer laser strat. But that just depends on how consistent you get with it. Obviously then into here. So box jumping time. The thing is, this box jumping is really weird. So especially if you're just starting out, the box jumping in this room can be either really easy or really hard, depending on how you feel about it. So obviously no shame in just grabbing all the boxes and stacking them up the way you normally would. Because the boxes have gravity towards this wall, and so they fall differently. So when you box jump here, you want to, you know, jump, double click, and then jump again. But if you look at me my inputs, the second jump, I'm holding it like much longer. Yeah, you can see this is what happens when box jump doesn't work, is you just slide back down. So the reason that the second jump you want to hold it longer is because of that, when the box is like rolling onto its other side. Because if you don't, then you just fall back down like this. Yeah, that's why you hold the second jump longer. Oh. It only takes 2 jumps to get up, but like I said, the timing is different and kind of tricky. So, you know, practice it and hopefully you can get it. If not, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's like a good time save, but not, you know, it's not the biggest one in this chapter by any means. So, anyway, with this switch, when you press it, you want to jump once immediately after pressing it, because as soon as your feet touch the ground, those bars will have moved up enough to where you can run and jump at this and climb out immediately. So that just helps you with timing it. Grab the statue, and then this dark purple triangle here, right between the white ones and the kind of medium tone ones, you run off at that one and you can fall straight down. If you go to the left or right, you might hit that branch, which is not a big deal, but when you hit it, even if you just slip off of it, it slows you down some when you're falling. So if you just run off at the dark purple triangle, then you can fall straight down and save, you know, 1/10 of a second or whatever it is. And obviously if we had done laser hallway, all the steps would be here and you would just jump down. So yeah, that was chapter 14. It's difficult, especially laser hallway. Like, that's the biggest thing here. And like I said, Amaranth's video is fantastic, so go check that out. It's in the description and in the playlist. But yeah, good luck.